So let's start with the very first important step. Even though we're able to execute it here simply, well, typing code on the left and seeing it in the console on the right, technically you would need to implement your code in your HTML document to have anything to run. So if I open up my HTML document here, you see this is our normal HTML5 skeleton, and I won't go into HTML basics in this course. I will create a new header here, and you can quickly do this by simply typing H1 and then hitting tab, where just say the JavaScript bootcamp. Now this will appear in the output here, but we won't need the output for now, so I'll close it. Let's see, how can we execute code in such a HTML document? Well, if I go below the title here, I can type script and hit tab, and this will create script tags for me. If I type console log hello there, and close this with brackets or with parentheses here, and then I click run, you see hello there in the console, even though I didn't write anything here in the middle, right? Well, the reason for this is this middle column here is just a service or a convenience offered by this website where I can execute JavaScript right away, and indeed we will heavily use this throughout the course. But in reality, you will have to include your scripts like this with such a script tag in your HTML document. Now, when the browser renders your page, it basically runs through your HTML code from top to bottom. And when it hits this script code, it will immediately execute all the code it finds between the opening and closing tag here. This is why hello there gets printed to the console, because that's all the code I have here. And as I said, it's immediately executed. Now, the script tag also has some attributes you can specify. For example, the type attribute. I can set this type here to text/JavaScript. And if I click run, what will happen? I still see hello there. Because this is an optional attribute, I can pass to specify, well, that this is indeed JavaScript code, but I may also leave it out, and indeed you would leave it out typically. So there is no difference between both ways of executing this code. Notice that currently I'm executing this code, or I have the script tag right here in the head section. Now imagine I take this code here, remove it from the head section, and put it right before my closing body tag here, so at the end of the body section. What do you think will happen now? Well, if I click run, we still see hello there, because as I said, the browser runs over your file from top to bottom and will execute any JavaScript code it finds. Therefore, the position of the code doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be inside the head section to be executed. Indeed, it's best practice to put it right here where it currently is, right before the closing body tag. Why is this the best practice? Well, as I said, the browser goes from top to bottom through your file and builds up your web page. Now imagine you have a JavaScript code here which triggers some long-running operation. In this case, the browser would be occupied and couldn't continue loading your web page below this script tag here. Now that would of course mean that you might not see your web page, even though technically it could be loaded even with your script not being finished. Therefore, by putting your scripts at the end of the page, you make sure that the HTML document actually gets loaded before the script is executed, which of course first results in a performance increase, and second, it makes sure that if your script is trying to access some HTML elements in your page, those elements are actually there because the browser already ran over the specific code. Now, as you might be aware, you also have the chance of turning off JavaScript in your browser. How can you handle this case that a user visits your page which has JavaScript turned off? Well, that of course depends on your page. If your page depends heavily on JavaScript, you might just want to show him a message telling him that, well, he should turn off JavaScript or, well, leave the page because you're not able to provide a well-browsing experience. In other cases, it might not really matter. But if you want to display such a message or any message, you can use the no script tags with any message between them, and this message here will only be displayed, of course, in the normal page here, not in any console, in the normal page, if a user visits the page with JavaScript being turned off.